Greetings and welcome to Kerbal Space Program version 0.24, 64-bit version. Yes, it's the new patch, and let's have a look at some of the features. As usual with these kinds of things, I feel a bit redundant, as particularly Scott Manley has already done a very comprehensive review of the new features. But there are a few things he didn't mention and a few things I feel could very well be mentioned again. So let's get to it. Before we even start a new game, we can look at the training. And here there are a few new mission to the Mon Part 2, for example, wasn't in the last one. And well, I don't feel that I personally need these a lot. It can be nice to acknowledge that the developers are working on this part as well. Moving on. We now have 3 game modes. Sandbox, which is what it's always been, Career mode, which is what everyone's been talking about, and the Science mode, which is the old career mode from patch 2.23, for those that have gotten attached to something and can't let go. So let's start with the Sandbox, because we want to look at some things, some new parts, and specifically some parts behavior. So this is the test. Of course, there are a few new things on the Space Center screen as well. Most importantly, the currently not visible bar up here, which would hold lots of information that we're not going to access. But moving to the new parts, let's just throw something together real quick. Oh, there's some very loud clicks. Let's see. We need a fuel tank. Let's bring 2. We need some extensions. Just bigger extensions. And we need some engines and something to mount these engines on. Vectoring engines, to be specific, and something to nail it to the floor, like so. Okay, and not firing at the same time. Now, what I have read, I haven't tried it yet, so see if this works, is that vectoring engines is now supposed to exercise roll authority. Let's see if we can see it. I don't. Well, let's. Yeah, also, the thrust start is 50%. So let's see, can we discern that the engines are moving using the pitch controls? Definitely. And the jaw, and now the roll. This is amazing. I have been waiting for this particular feature for a year. I haven't said anything because I think, well, that's silly, but you could do it. And now, look at this. Exercising roll authority. Let's let it go. Look at this. Okay, throw the fuel. Nope, he's not going to get a crash. And one more thing very closely related to this is that this should even work on the inline multi-nozzle rapier engine. Let's take a look. If this works, then I will be slightly happy for a short while. Oops. So let's see. Well, we need to launch it, I think. Certainly looks like it. Yes, indeed. Look at that. Undisputable roll authority for the axial engine, not only the radial ones. Just for the heck of it, let's try to land this on the engine. I think I should be able to do it. Yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. Cool. Well, as long as you don't count landing on the engine as keeping the engine, this was a success. Anyway, yeah, you have survived. As Scott Manley mentioned, the debug toolbar, usually called sheet menu, because you can enable infinite things, now has the gameplay tweaks, which is the difficulty settings I have been doing public service announcements about. So all of the difficulty settings are in here and lots more. So you have the two usual, the stock vessels and crew respawn, which are by default enabled in Sandbox. And you also have allow revert to editor and launch and allow quick saving and loading. This can be used to make your space program significantly harder. I'll be thinking about if I want to use those. And also, as has been pointed out, you do not go back to the main menu, you go back to the game pause menu, where you can load and save your game under unique names, such as save1 is a very unique name. And then you can specifically load that one, and this will allow you to save scum more efficiently, and also be very useful if you're, say, making a YouTube series and maybe not be completely sure that the game won't bug out on you, especially with all the warning labels on the 64-bit version. That's enough for Sandbox. You have seen the other parts. I trust the linear RCS thrusters that are using the oxidizer and liquid fuel instead of monopropellant. So this is a career mode save, a proper career mode that I just tested a bit yesterday. And let's look at things. So here you have the contracts. I mean, you have already seen this, obviously. So let's just try something. You need to test the RT-10 solid rocket booster in flight over Kerbin between these altitudes and at this speed. So let's set contract and let's try to complete this mission. So we'll quickly just throw together a rocket. I have unlocked a few parts. I want to use this as my test bed. Let's throw one more in there, half fuel tank. You have to consider your budget, which is something that is completely new, at least to me. And we want these, and we will not fire these. We'll fire these when the time comes, so to speak. So let's hope this isn't too noisy. Let's fix the staging. Looks good. And this is unnamed, and we have Jeb as pilot. I don't see any problems. This is interesting, that particular frame. Alright, let's go not to space, but close enough. So here you can see requirements are updated in real time if you are fulfilling them or not. So I need to go to 8.4 kilometers minimum. I sincerely hope I have enough fuel. I'm starting to suspect I don't. In that case, it will be a bit embarrassing, especially as I'm doing this live. And we have the resources tab, same as always. Our status for various resources, and this is also updated as soon as you complete your contract. You get your money. This is messages for earlier missions. This timer is the same since last patch. Not a lot has changed here. Let's see, we're 4 kilometers. We're almost running out of fuel. Well, these, I suppose the boosters are heavy now that they are full. So we have the correct, you can actually slow down very little. We need to get to 8.4, 5.6.0. Last chance, activate the boosters. Maybe we can get up to 8.4 while they're still running. 8.0, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Isn't it completed? Test the boosters. Their boosters are tested. Okay. See ya. Well, Did I complete the contract? Radial decoupler, rockaway backs? No. I didn't. Well, that's a shame. And I don't think there's any way I can save these. Well, this is a failed mission. Let's see if we can save as much as possible. Well, there's no way we can save the engine. Maybe we can save some of the fuel tanks and the decoupler, rather than just landing just the capsule. We're close enough to the space center for it to be absolutely worth it. I'm just gonna land, see how much this one parachute can save. Whoop, here we go. And slow down. Don't explode. Oh! Don't explode again. Ah. And if I'm correct now, these parts, when recovered, shouldn't give me any money. Doesn't look like it, because we didn't get a dialogue. The spacecraft, if I recover, gives me a dialogue. I got 0.1 science, 1385.95 funds, from mostly from the command pod and from the parachute. Well, there's a lot from the decoupler as well. The monopropellant is very cheap, and Jeb's alive. So that's it. I think this is enough for one episode. You get the gist. And I will do some thinking what I'm going to do my next series about. On Sunday it will be the finale for the aerial space program. After that, I have a hard time envisioning how this would be super interesting to watch me do all these arbitrary missions, like do stack decouplers on the launch pad. It's not terribly exciting. Maybe it gets more exciting later on. I'll think about it. The alternative to doing a career space program is going back to the mod space program and doing a season 2 with the updated versions, of course. That will have to wait either case until the mods have been updated. So post a comment. What do you think? The risk of picking the modded space program is that we may have to wait a week. No episode next week, but trading that for another space program. Tell me what you think. If you think that just playing career mode with proper editing is going to be fun, tell me and I will consider it. Anyway, thanks for watching this first look at point 24, and I hope to see you whenever I come back.